go ahead and jump in to game number 1 of BetBoom versus OG.LATAM. Now, this is going to be... It's funny because we talked about how, these teams have like some of their iconic play styles. Also, shout out to the music. We're bumping it this time. Great choice on theme production. Appreciate you guys.
Bopping out.
Dude, I'm just dancing off screen. Who cares? So we've got pretty active game plan here from OG, right? Running the carry Beastmaster, this off-lane Darkseer, and a mid Ember Spirit. All these heroes going to get online very early. Now, we've seen Coddle and Ember, that duo, have some incredible success into the mid game. And we're going to see if they can actually make that happen. It's up against the Nature's Prophet, which should be a pretty great lane for BetBoom. So if Dark Mago can kind of weather the storm of that is the difficult lane, see what he can get done with it after that.
It's okay if he doesn't have as strong of a start, because when he does get active, he's going to have an Ion Shell on top of him, plus the Keeper. So as long as he gets the 6 at a reasonable time, you can start making plays, most likely in that bottom lane, and recover.
Top side here, we're going to see potentially a little fight. No, they're just going to back away. No one wants to risk first bloods at runes anymore. We've seen games won and lost at the rune battles, so playing it a little safe. I am curious what the build for GPK is going to be this game, because like typical Nature's Prophet is you just rush Maelstrom, right? So do you do that on mid lane Natures?
Yeah, because it's actually a great way to delay a game when they have a fast-paced lineup, is put the Mjolnir on the Treant and then have it go creep cut. And unless you have a way to deal with that, which, I don't know, sometimes we see like Helm of the Dominators, and it's funny to see Darkseer and Beastmaster and kind of know like none of them are going to do that, right? Then
Couriers! Oh, he canceled his auto attack! Oh, that hurts. That was like, that was like seeing dollar signs, man. You just see 2 couriers waddling back to base. You get neither.
Heart of battle instead of quick wit.
True, actually. Oh, all right. Yeah, Katomi's going to try and punish this little lane dragging that's going on here. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a lot of damage out for sure, but not going to stop the Darkseer on the lane drag. And he did go Blinding Light level 1 on Elmisha, so I do appreciate this. I think this is pretty much necessary in this lane. It will prevent that like aggression that comes out, especially off the level 2 timings. You just got to make sure you actually have it off cooldown.
I completely agree with your point that I was definitely listening to, and not appreciating the fact that Kataomi has this fire cosmetic going on, and his courier also has the same. He is synced up in the cosmetic game. That is a massive buff to the hero.
So that cosmetic, you can put it on Chaos Knight, and it works on all of your illusions, and it definitely doesn't lag out everyone's computer. It's good stuff. It's real good stuff. Pay to win cosmetics, everybody. Just have a better computer than the other team. Overall, lanes are pretty straightforward, right? No one's really struggling too much. Kunkka is like, meh, in the top side, but kind of expected when you're against the hero like the Beastmaster. Mid lane, Dark Mago is actually doing a lot of work here against this Nature's Prophet. I saw the first wave, and I was kind of impressed. Like, he ended up kind of out-CSing the Nature's Prophet, which wasn't what I expected, but again, this is one of his best heroes, Grandmaster on the Ember, so it's not too surprising that he's performing well already. But we'll see as the lane goes on how it develops.
Ember's early levels, I won't. It depends on the matchup. I think in this case, the early levels will be fine for him, and it's as the Natures picks up more range damage, it gets even more annoying for Dark Mago. We're kind of seeing that come into play right now, where you just constantly poke away, and the Treant spam starts to build up. Whereas like the first level 1 Treant's kind of whatever. But as you deal with the second and the third and the fourth, and then it's level 2, and then the 5th and the 6th Treant that is just poking you nonstop through the laning stage, it just slowly adds up to the Nature's advantage. But Yeah, like you said, for now, he's at least doing fine. And even if it started going really one-sidedly for GPK, I do think Dark Mago is already set up to hit 6 at a pretty reasonable time. So
Yeah.
I'd call that a success, getting through the lane versus the Natures.
Hear me out, though. What about the 7th Treant, you think? Is that one change the game at all?
That's the game changer. That's the power
That's
spike, man.
I see.
You always got to be careful of the 7th Treant timing. It's a killer.
Yeah, Sprout spam is also just really annoying.
Oh, Misho's got to be a little careful. There is an Ice Shards, but a little bit off. Oh, Snowball. Ah,
Dude, I was gonna say, he's gonna put himself in. Yeah, he puts himself right on the backside of the shards to trap them instead. That's a pretty sick play.
Can we replay that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Something I want to see there. I thought the Ice Shards came a little early because they were actually going for the level 3 timing, which I thought was sick. It's like, oh, as soon as you hit 3, go for the kill, snowball in. But you should save Ice Shards for that. So maybe he used Ice. Oh, here we go.
We are gonna do it.
Maybe he used Ice Shards to finish a creep. No, he just threw it a little early.
Yeah. I mean, El Micho definitely baited him on it, but yeah, just to position himself on the other side of the shards is just like, peace. Nice try.
Could have been first blood. He learned a lesson here, though. First blood
okay, we
now.
get first blood. Thanks for calling that replay, Zach.
Yeah. Well, we waited to the tail end. I don't know what you're talking about. That's perfect. We literally showed what not to do and then showed what to do.
This is the educational stream here, the beginner stream, really. You know, helping people get better at Dota. I'm pretty sure we're about to see an Axes find a kill. Yep. Save in trouble as well. He's got 4 Axe stacks. I don't, you know, they're words. Double kill in the top lane here for the side of OG. This is already a scary lane, and they are now off to an even better start.
Yeah, it's extra scary because Ringmaster does get the souvenirs on the on kills, so he's got a little bit of extra strength to work with. He has Funhouse Mirror right now, not really the best, but if he uses that, he could have Whoopee Cushion, or that would be awesome. He could have Whoopee Cushion or Strongman Tonic, which can definitely make a difference.
That'd be so hype, actually. Just about to get X-Torrented and just Funhouse mirrors it. That would be hype.
That's a good one. We'll look for that, and that one definitely gets replayed.
No. We don't show the good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Bottom lane, Illich running very far away. Tries to get vacuumed away here, but phase boots. Now with Tusk coming in, there's the shard block. Blinding. Oh, it was Wrath of Nature. I was like, how did he get hit? Wrath of Nature comes in from GPK to secure the kill. Now Dark Mago has a haste rune. He's just going to be able to get aggressive now, and this will be a kill going the way of El Micho. All right, putting at least the first power rune to good use.
Yeah, that's a very, very lucky one to get at that time. Natures does participate with his Wrath of Nature, as they tend to do. Looks like top lane Beastmaster actually fell.
They're bringing in the Darkseer. This is a bait for sure. The question is, who are they gonna... Oh, the dead shot! How did he see him? Illich is now in a lot of trouble, stuck up here. Doesn't have a way in. What a dead shot from Save. I honestly don't know if he actually saw the hero or not.
There might have been a creep over there. 7-minute Wisdom Rune, trying to take advantage of this chaos going on. But yeah, maybe as Ember shows up, this is not where you want to be.
I mean, Kiritich does have Enrage. They're gonna just battle it out in here. In comes the Natures, Remnants away. They're gonna be able to get this kill here onto El Micho. They get themselves the Shrine as GPK comes in, but Kiritich, no, gets burnt down as Illich comes through, and now GPK 1v4. Nature's Prophet, a strong hero, but I don't know if he's that strong. Oh, Eastproud kills Dark Mago. All right, now this is super worth it.
2 for 1. OG
and the
rotates
shrine.
all their heroes. If OG hadn't done such a quick rotation, because as soon as they finished that Beastmaster kill, they started going through the Twin Gate to make it here in time. If they didn't do that, it would have been really one-sided for BetBoom. The cores end up paying a price there where 2 of them die, but they did get both Wisdom Shrines. And these are some support, level-reliant support that we're now going to have an advantage going the way of BetBoom for. Yeah, Tusk is almost level 6 already. He's at 5.5 right now.
Yeah, he's having a great game. He's been involved in a lot already.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I guess the supports were involved in that kill for OG actually, so that's the funny thing. Sometimes you make these plays, but you actually give a lot of kills, and it balances out the Wisdom Shrine difference.
Yeah. That's true. I guess the fact that the Nature's Prophet is there and dies, that's a lot of XP. He was level 7 when he died, so gives up quite a bit. Now, in terms of the net worth distribution, it's pretty even, right? We're 5 to 5. Very, very little difference in terms of the actual net worth across the board here. It's going to be these first big items that are going to kind of change things up, right? Beastmaster is working towards that Aghanim Scepter. We're going to see Kunkka get himself the Blade Mail. Ember Spirit usually in games like this is the Mage Slayer. I think you still do it, even though there's a lot of physical damage. I'm not 100% sure, though. Ooh, they are going to find the X, the boat. They do have moves nearby. Escape Act will help absorb a lot of that damage, but he's still surrounded by the 5 heroes of BetBoom. And they do manage to find themselves a big pickoff. Now, Dark Mago here on the Ember Spirit. A nice chains into a fear, but Darkseer gonna try and make his presence known. I mean, this is where Ember shines. These long fights with the Coddle as well. Slight Chains catches Girtich. He's forced to enrage immediately as he heads to the north. They will scout him on a ward, but I don't think they will be able to finish the job as he should be able to TP home. Never mind, Ringmaster's found him. Who goes for who? Blood Grenade, does he have the damage? He misses on the high ground, but the burn, 30 HP, he gets out. Wow, very close. That's actually a high ground miss that keeps him alive.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wait, the attack just hit from the top lane.
I was watching, yeah. It actually doesn't disjoint these twin gates, but he gained enough health in that time. It took so long to carry over.
Overall, I think that's a win for BetBoom, right? They don't lose the Ursa. They get the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and killing the Beastmaster, he's doing some stacks now, so he might still reach a pretty solid Ags timing, but the Beastmaster as a carry is unconventional.
UA not getting out of that one. Stuck between ice shards and trees.
Yeah. Beastmaster, like, he has a strong lane because he's usually an offlaner, so you need to win your lane and then have a good Ags time, and that's the whole idea of like this tempo Beastmaster carry. So the fact that he's dying and he's not really having that impressive of a lane, like 4,500, like, okay, sure, but then you look at everyone else, you're like, yeah, well, actually everyone's in this ballpark.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane. They drop the wall. The snowball on in, though, trapping the Keeper of the Light. Oh, Misho, he's a big part of the team fight here for these guys. Oh my gosh, the Escape Act buys him a little bit more time, but there's the slight change. The X, the boat's gonna be able to do some damage here to Illich, but they've taken down 2 supports on BetBoom. But without the Coddle, Dark Mago running out of steam. He has to go back to base.
You still get 2 support kills, and maybe pressure this tower a little bit. You give some space to Beastmaster. So overall, it's fine. And in fact, you can even now send the Keeper somewhere else and maybe recall these heroes over after they finish this bottom lane. It looks like BetBoom is not interested in defending it.
Yeah, it's getting hard to defend the lanes now against this Darkseer, who does have his mech. He's completed. Dark Mago, I actually want to talk about his itemization and his neutral item. Big deal having the Orb of Destruction and the Orb of Corrosion on this, like, kind of especially if you're trying to play for like an early tempo and then going back for Mage Slayer. So you're gonna have 3 kind of orb effects applied off every Sleight of Fist that he gets. He has gone the 4-4-0 build, which we've kind of seen as the standard as the Ember Spirit against, well, I guess rather with Coddle against certain heroes. That's pretty much what you want to go for. A lot of stacks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, both teams doing a great job with stacking these. Ursa may be a little sad he's not getting those stacks, but he doesn't have his Battle Fury, so what can you do? Overall, pretty even game, which I want to say favors BetBoom just a bit. Do favor their late game scaling, but If OG can make a couple plays back-to-back, maybe starting with a kill onto save here.
Yeah, forced to pop the Pierce the Veil, but with an Ion Shell Ember Spirit, the chains come out, gets himself a very nice pickoff, and protected by the Shield Rune, right? I think they might be considering a defense there if you don't have a Shield Rune on the Ember. But Coddle gonna pull in the Ember top side as they're gonna look for the Kunkka. Fortunately for them, he has read this perfectly. He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, this is where you want an Aghanim's kill right now. It just finished on K1, so they were looking for anything they would have been happy with, because a kill could easily lead to Roshan. It's pretty early for most teams, but the Aghanims plus a Keeper will allow you to do it. If you don't find anything, you maybe just wait for... Well, actually, this is where teams have different philosophies. Sometimes we see the Beastmasters go for the Tormentor, you take that, you go for Roche. Other times, you let them have Tormentor, especially if they have a strong team fight, and you just go for Roche as soon as that happens. BetBoom, you've got the Ursa. Rarely can you threaten to steal the Roche away when the enemy team does Tormentor, but this actually is a case where it could happen.
I mean, BetBoom could take both, right? Like, they also are a team that are very capable of taking both Tormentor and Roche early. So that's going to be a big objective. And we already see BetBoom kind of setting up for the idea here that they're going to rush Tormentor. So let's maybe eyeball the Roche. They get two really good wards placed on the bottom side of the map here. And they actually see the smoke. It connects onto Hector there, so they actually know there are heroes smoke behind them. As that 15-minute Tormentor's about to spawn, Katomi here to try and pop the smoke. He will do exactly that. And Ember does have an arcane.
Roche.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at where BetBoom are moving.
But you need the Ursa.
Yeah, he's kind of far away.
He might deal with this creep wave and then immediately TP.
Yeah.
But it's already scanned out by BetBoom as well, so they're gonna head over real quick.
I mean, they got Tormentor before they started the Roshan. They can easily contest both now as the whole team is DPing over. If you get the wall into the Ember here, this is going to be a big deal. Now, the question is, will OG make it in time? The Ringmaster getting close to the high ground here, will get scouted off of this ward, does come in with the Impalement Arts, does have the Spotlight that he reveals, drops the Wheel of Wonder. It's going to taunt the Nature's Prophet, but the Aegis, it gets claimed. They take down Roche. Dark Mago tried to do what he can here on this Ember Spirit, but it looks like they're just going to back away and give this one up.
I want to say, now that the dust has settled, this is a win for BetBoom overall. You get the Aegis to delay the game. They get the Tormentor, but the Shard actually goes to Ringmaster, which is not a bad Shard, but it depends on the game. And in this case, I think the Keeper, the Light Shard, would have been a lot better than Spotlight. Though Spotlight was kind of useful in that Roche fight, you know, give them the information, but it doesn't actually lead to the kill. So that was its best use, and now you're wishing you had double recall.
Yeah, you definitely wish you had double recall right now.
Find the Kunkka.
That being said, they will find the Kunkka. He does get himself the Blade Mail, gonna try and TP. Do you have the refresh for the chains? They don't.
That was close.
Where's the second chain? Should have been there, I feel like, but maybe just slightly off cooldown. El Misho's not the highest level, I suppose.
He actually could have it maxed. He has 2 points in Illuminate. I want to say that's
that's what I'm wondering.
Normal.
So that's a big save, but also, early. Well, they're going to gank the Beastmaster here. They're looking for someone in the triangle, and that's going to be a massive kill if they actually do manage to get K1 up onto the high ground. Save will get spotted. There's the blink into the Walrus punch. He's just dead. That's the blink reveal from Katomi, and they're thinking of fighting this. Dark Mago, the chains does come out. They drop the wall, looking for this kill. They should be able to get the Tusk, but I mean, that's not enough of a trade. You need more. Illich now in a lot of trouble. Gets pulled in. The skate back's going to bail him out for the moment, but the Wheel of Wonder, it actually doesn't connect onto anybody. They just walk away. And now Dark Mago does have a Remnant back to safety. The chains here onto the Nature's Prophet, but just getting chased to death here by this Ursa, who is playing so aggressive. As the fear, the dead shot, the silence, they got him anyway. What a combo from Save. They just delete the backline as well as GPK gets himself a double kill. Now Amisho, he's on the run, has a 4-staff, should get to the low. What a dead shot as well.
What a dead shot.
Dave is on point. 5 dead for OG for this.
Well, okay, BetBoom is playing so well. And this Beastmaster, unfortunately, is not quite paying off for OG. It got a couple kills on the laning stage, hit an okay ag time with the stacks, but since then, we have not seen Roar lead to a kill. And then after that, you just feel so confident. Like, that Beastmaster is a huge part of the early team fight. You've got the control and the silences and Atos, X marks to pick up these kills on these mobile heroes. And at that point, you do whatever you want. You just blink chase, dead shot, looking to scout, and or predicting the 4-staff to the low ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's a prediction.
I agree. I was saying, this is Save we're talking about. That's 100%. He knew he was going for the 4-staff. Really good stuff. Now, my biggest concern right now is your Ember Spirit, who's supposed to be the strongest hero on the map right now, is incredibly weak. Top side here, Katomi, they will just drop the wall and the Roar onto this. Now, this is just to support Tusk, but they need to start finding something.
Yeah, that was like the first Roar kill that I remember seeing. Maybe there was one I missed, but if it's only 2 at this point, that's still kind of not enough. You know, you want to find a kill with Roar pretty much nonstop, especially when you have the Keeper, right? You want to be moving around real fast, finding all these plays off cooldown. And yet it's BetBoom that feels that they're the ones playing faster than OG.
Yeah. Ember Spirit, I don't know if you want to take that Remnant. You'd be going right into the hands of BetBoom here. Blink in, Walrus Punch, gets chain stunned. Escape back's going to give him a moment. The Fear, this time the Wheel of Wonder does what it needs to do. That being said, GPK comes in onto the backside. They will get themselves the first kill on Del Micho. Nice whoopee cushion from Moose, but the chase is there. They've got the damage. Both supports die on OG.
So much of this is enabled by the Aegis that BetBoom stole away as well. Kiritich would not be nearly as interested in joining these fights if he didn't have that comfort of the Aegis, knowing that he's not just going to die in these fights. And because of that, he is in everything, and they are just sweeping these fights. It's a 2K gold lead. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I do think this is where OG is supposed to be strong in their lineup. They have another, 10 minutes before they start really dropping off, and not only do they not have a significant gold lead, they're actually the ones behind by 3K.
Oh,
this is unfortunate. Tumblr's toy.
Now, I learned today there is a spot there.
It doesn't look like there would be, huh?
Really a little wooden shelter. What can you do? All right,
one more Tumblr's toy over.
Can we get a replay of that Tumblr's toy?
But from that angle as well.
Kiritich here. I mean, he's almost got an Aghanim Scepter himself. That's going to be a pretty rough item for OG to deal with. The constant enrages, being able to guarantee he can get out of Roar now as well. That's a big deal.
If you can't kill him in Roar, that is your lockdown. What else do you have? Yeah. Wheel of Wonder and Tame the Beast, sure, but it's a much more awkward combo, and we've seen it not connect several times already. Not to mention, the Enrage also works for that combo, so. BKB is done for the Beastmaster, but it's stuck on the Courier for 40 seconds. Yeah. Again, so all these little things do add up, right? Okay, we stole Roche. You're not as strong as you'd like to be for 10 more minutes. Okay, we killed your Courier, right? Now you want to wait 2 more minutes than you would have otherwise. All of these little things are giving BetBoom more and more time to crawl towards the late game. We're going to have Ursa, an actual carry in this game. You've got the ratting potential from Nature's, 2 really strong scaling supports. Kunkka maybe drops off the most on their lineup, but he's still got great utility in the late game, especially with X Mark being a way to deal with BKB TPs.
They're gonna run right into the Coddle, and there's just nothing he can do to this. Instantly dead to the Walrus Punch. Now they're looking for more, but I don't think there's any way you actually find that Beastmaster. Yeah, with where GPK is on the Nature's Prophet, this is what really worries me. Like, if it was just the Ursa core, I think OG could have the way of dealing with it with just the, like, you could kite him out almost, right? Between, like, Surge and Slight Chains and all these other heroes. But there's also a Nature's Prophet who is easily the scariest hero in this game.
Farming ult. Doesn't even feel he needs to save it for team fights. He can go ahead and use it to get a little bit more gold, push in the lanes. His team, I'm sure, very glad about that. But he's top net worth for a reason. He's already got the Hurricane Pike after the Mjolnir, and his BKB will be done in... Oh, there. It is done now, so yeah. Extremely strong. You can now somewhat ignore the wall, the Wheel of Wonder, Coddle spam, Ember spam, right? It gives you so much survivability in these fights. And that's really the scary part about playing Natures, when you TP and you go, oh, I should not have TP'd here. I do not have mobility and I am dead now. You have to be able to join the fight and then just stand there and do the damage while you can. So BKB, a lot of comfort towards that objective.
Yeah. I think right now we're kind of seeing maybe the... I don't want to say like maybe the uncomfortable play style that is like this Coddle for this stack. Like maybe they just haven't had as much time to play around this hero as like BetBoom, right? Where like this has been like a staple of their team for a long time. But I feel like we just haven't seen that many like rotations or kind of plays being made around like the Ember Coddle that like typically would be what you want to play around, right? So Tormentor gonna be spawning here in just under the minute. Both teams smoked up. They're gonna be running headlong into each other here. The question is, who does the fight start on moves? He gets scouted out. Gleipnir into the silence. Ringmaster, the dead man's or the strong man's tonic. Gives him a second of space, but the wall is committed for this. In comes the blink, the roar, but he's got the snowball save, and he didn't have to pop anything else, and now they're just going to see what damage they can get done here. In comes GPK on the Nature's Prophet. Wrap around from Illich, vacuum onto 3. Nice chains out as well here, but do you have the damage? You're starting to lack it on the side of OG. Ember Spirit has to run away. Hector getting chased to death here by this Ursa. 2 dead on the side of OG as they look for more. And well, I mean, you have some heroes low on BetBoom, but you never got the chance to finish them.
It was a great vacuum too, but what's the AoE follow-up when Beastmaster's not there and the Ringmaster was already dead, right? So they just walk away from that and then continue to kill you all.
Darkview has no remnants left. He's gonna get a refresh here off the Coddle, but he's dead before he hits the ground. El Misho as well, gonna bite the dust, and that is 2 more pickoffs for the BetBoom lineup into Roshan. The timing couldn't be more perfect.
Well, that's why both teams were up here. The second Roshan, certainly more important than the second Tormentor, so both teams wanted to try to secure this first, and it's BetBoom that finds the key kill, starting with just take the supports out of the fight right away, and the rest of the fight easily goes their way.
Yeah, now an 8,000 gold lead. This game was super close for a long time, but the gold advantage now definitely starting to add up. 11 to 21. OG has been unable to secure more than maybe a single kill on a support for quite some time. As bottom lane, they're pinging out the Ursa. I mean, I don't think you've finished this kill, but you can try to force maybe the Enrage, which he will do. Turns around, does get feared into the Wheel of Wonder. In comes Dark Mago. Do you have the damage to actually secure the kill onto the Ursa? The boat comes out, the roar is there. They do get him. The Aegis, it went into the Nature's Prophet. A great attention here from OG as the Snowball. Gonna try and save the I mean, no one's gonna get saved. They're all dead. Or, like, Tuskus comes in, offers his life as a little bonus kill. GPK gets scouted here on the bottom, potentially. Okay, OG's back? Question mark? What just happened? They just cut the gold lead by 5,000.
I mean, it was great in identification. You know, Ursa doesn't have the Aegis. We should look for him. And they do. They find him with all 5 heroes. and it's BetBoom that funnels in a little bit slowly. This is the advantage of the keeper, being able to move heroes everywhere. You have the advantage in these kind of rotations. But I think you just cut your losses. You know, like Ursa dies, you tried to save him, maybe you lose the Kunk as well. But now the Tusk came in, and they almost lost Nature's, right? Nature's also came in from behind. They're a bit fortunate that OG gave up the chase. Doesn't have vision back there. Otherwise, Nature's can maybe get out, but it's going to cost him the BKB, which does not feel good.
I mean, the amount of gold that has been swung
Radiant's middle tower
in the last 2 minutes, right? Like, we could see it, right? The difference in the loss here on this Aegis quote-unquote power play, you know, 7,000 negative gold. And now you have a Beastmaster that finished Assault Kuros, like, on his way to a refresher. The like mid lane Ember and the off lane Darkseer have now finally managed to pull in a little bit more net worth themselves. They passed the Kunkka. I mean, this game's a lot closer than it was now. Crimson Guard's actually quite nice.
dire.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a learning experience for me, but I still think this Beastmaster carry will drop off. I think he's strong right now, and with the refresher, that'll also be scary. And then it's after that where it
Dire's
feels like diminishing returns. But this Ursa could still be going up. This Nature's still going up. And that last fight was all on the terms of OG. It's now BetBoom looking to force a fight on their own terms. And OG actually just completely dodging it for now. We're going to lose the bottom tier 2. Trant will probably get a little bit of tier 3 damage.
Ooh,
Nature's got to be a bit careful here.
This would be a massive find. Moose will take the Wisdom Shrine. Okay, they don't see the Nature's Prophet. Oh, do they? Okay, they do now. Moose pops that whoopee cushion. He is out of here. If his team was closer, they might go for that, but it's also really scary to make that dive into an Aegis NP next to a tier 2, right? Like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it seems OG was happy to find that fight in the bottom with the Ursa and getting the 2 other kills. And now they, you know, just wait out the rest of the Aegis. If we find a convenient fight, then sure, go for it. But don't force anything into this Aegis of BetBoom. This is a Nature's Prophet. They have the banner. So if you lose a pretty bad fight, they can make it to your base, do a lot of building damage.
Yeah. As of right now, things looking pretty good. The Nullifier now completed on GPK for the Nature's Prophet, which fantastic against the Ember Spirit or just like any of the heroes trying to get bailed out by this Darkseer, right? Ion Shell, Surge, stuff like that. Not gonna help. As Ursa also has his Basher working towards that Abyssal Blade. Just needs one lucky bash. That's really all it comes down to. Like, Ursa is a hero where it's like, if you happen to get... I say second hit bash is typically better because a lot of times people don't respond to the first hit with how quick the attacks come out. You get that second hit bash, you just kill anybody.
I would agree on that.
Decent job at delaying the lane cut here as 15 seconds left on this Aegis, so it doesn't look like they're going to get more than just that tier 2 tower out of this second Aegis. Now, OG, I mean, they know the timing, so they're going to smoke up themselves, see what they can find. The Nature's Prophet might reveal himself top. They actually smoke as well on BetBoom. Who's going to find who? The Blink to Roar again canceled by the Snowball. A very quick response save here. Going to get burning down to all of this AoE damage. A great vacuum back to slight the chains onto 3 heroes as they dive in aggressively, maybe too far. The Ursa getting to work here on this Beastmaster. Can they keep him alive? It's going to be close. They do, but the death is still there. The Beastmaster's fall. They get the Yules onto GPK. He's going to be forced to BKB now. Try and beat down Illich, but he's got himself this Ghost Scepter. Where's the Nullifier? He's just trying to TP away. He's dead as well. That's going to be a full team wipe for BetBoom. OG. They get a buyback out of the Kunkka and save. That was a 6-for-1.
A lot of the damage was lacking that time. Take a look at Nature's damage. It's actually still the highest for his team. But for being the most farmed hero, he wasn't able to attack as much as he wanted. He TPs into the back of the fight. It's at the top of the screen right now. He just finishes. He's on the wrong side of the trees. He's got to walk in. Okay, start hitting this hero. 1 Yules is happening right now. Another Yules. So all this action on that we're looking at here, Natures would love to be here, finishing the kill on the Beastmaster faster, on the Ember faster, but instead he's Yules again, controlled up. Finally, the BKB comes out, but his team's dead at this point, and on your own, you don't do enough, right? So he just has to TP out. This is the tricky thing with Natures compared to something like Spectre. Spectre is instantly in the fight on the target you want to be on. But Natures has to be a bit careful with where he TPs, and you can't change your mind because you have to start the teleport again. And so these fights that can be decided in just a few seconds, Natures is a little slow to, and I think that's what got BetBoom there.
Dude, I mean, I was wondering earlier about the itemization here, because the Coddle does, like, a lot of times we see the Holy Locket as, like, the first item. He has 4-staff Yules, and I was like, I get it. It's, like, very defensive. But that fight is where it really shines. El Misho just gets, like you said, he gets to Yules and Nature's Prophet the moment he comes in. And you don't want to just BKB because you're afraid of getting a Yule Scepter, right? Like, you kind of have to save it for a more impactful point, but I mean, it makes sense. Also, the biggest difference, the Ember Spirit enabled by the Keeper of the Light, finally, right? In so many fights, we've seen the Coddle or the Ember get, taken out very quickly. So we just haven't really seen Dark Mago be able to do a whole lot on this hero. And, well, they do run down, save. He does have a shield rune bottled up as well. Has a gem completed, gets his shard coming out on the courier right now. This is a huge swing and a big power spike here for OG. Now 7,000 gold ahead.
Is under attack.
And that's gonna get them the bottom tower. Start to set up the potential that if you get the next Roche, if you want to win another big fight like they just did, this is a Beastmaster who got an Assault Cuirass.
Nice
You'll
duels.
take the whole base really quickly.
Yeah. Dispelling that shield rune there on the Ember. Nice attention there from Katomi. Doesn't want to just leave that extra HP. OG will back away, seeing that high ground, not really willing to go there quite yet. Like you said, if you have some heroes dead, totally different story. You have the refresher AC on Beastmaster, your base dies. But without any of those kills, a little bit more hesitant. Here's the thing, you were saying like maybe Beastmaster as this goes on doesn't scale. I feel like I've seen so many games where as long as Beastmaster is towards the top of the net worth, he just deletes a hero, right? Like you just roar someone and they just die because of how much damage he ramps. And right now, with the fact that OG have finally gotten a couple of team fights under their belt, I feel like they are at that point now where this Beastmaster can just actually solo kill a Nature's Prophet or the Ursa if they don't have the backup. Mid lane, forced to pop the Enrage already. The Vacuum there as well. But we'll see. Like, BetBoom, they're down, but definitely not out in this game. They have a lot to play around still.
Yeah, it's a very true point. Like you said, the roar is really strong, and the ease of execution is there for OG. Like, we're seeing Dark Mago just spam Sleight of Fist. It's not even a waste. You just get Chakra Magic, spam another one, and you find the information you need for the team. Whereas on the other side, it's like, oh, I got a Snowball save, a Roar, or a Vacuum. I have to, like, teleport into the exact right spot as his Natures. I have to Enrage at the right time. I got all these skill shots on this Muerta. I gotta nail perfectly. So the last couple fights, I don't think BetBoom has perfectly connected on that, and it's costing them. Whereas OG, spam the spells. Oh, we found the hero. Roar. They reacted. Vacuum wall. It's been a lot easier. We'll see if this fight changes.
Connect on it now. Yeah, the smoked up
If
here.
you
You have
find a
the
Coddle,
Yeah, I mean, you have the BKB now on Kiritich, which makes it a little bit safer. Finding Coddle would be huge. We know how big of a asset he is in these team fights. The smoke's gonna pop on the bottom side here. They're looking for someone. It's Illich in the trees. He gets a back wall onto 4. In goes OG, but who's gonna go down first? The Roar. It's gonna be popped first here onto saves Muerta. The second Roar as well, bashed up on Dark Mago. He's got a remnant. He makes it up onto the high ground. Katomi, he's dead as well. Yules is gonna be able to find Miro, and that's gonna be 3 heroes trapped and taken out here on the side of BetBoom. How often do you refresher roar a support and it works?
What an insane vacuum. They really weren't sure where OG was, but quick reactions on the smoke break, and I don't feel like BetBoom was able to do anything they wanted in that fight. one of the strengths of the South American region is their ability to take fights. I feel like there's many times that they're just all on the same page so quickly about how to navigate a fight. Darkseer doesn't even die. He was the target, and he gets out of that fight.
That's street Dota, man. That's what we always talk about. You're in their neighborhood now.
You really are. I was worried about them going into the early to mid game, especially with the Beastmaster not connecting on very many roars. I think we'd seen 2 at 20 minutes, but
yeah,
it is finally finding its targets. Even if those targets are supports, the supports do make a big difference in these team fights. So you are also getting... We didn't really talk about it earlier. Although Ursa's not a great target for the vacuum wall, Nature's Prophet is. And
that is so true.
He's been getting the vacuum wall onto the Natures, and that's helping to do a lot of extra damage in these fights.
Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher, right? So who has the Refresher?
Radiant's top tower.
It's
Probably
in the
Ember,
backpack
right?
for Ember right now.
Yeah, okay, that's what I would expect. It's just double BKB, very good. He kind of wants to hold it until he has his Aghanim Scepter. Oh, they're gonna find the Darkseer here on the backside. He's dead. Kiritich taunted up here for the moment. Dark Mogo goes in with the BKB. Can you take this fight without the Darkseer? He's gonna buy back into the game. The first roar comes out. He catches the Nature's Prophet. He gets bashed up though from Kiritich. The Ursa just trying to take him out. Moo's in trouble as well, but Dark Mogo's still alive onto the backside. The second roar, it never happens, but Illich is back. He wants to fight here on the Darkseer. GPK pulled back into the wall. His illusion just beating him to death. They get the kill. Ursa cannot survive either. Hexed up, trying to get out, but it's not gonna be enough. Dark Mago, double kill for the Ember as Katomi gets himself a nice kill there, but another chase down. 3 dead on BetBoom. It's a 3 for 3 into the Aegis, but you don't actually claim the Aegis.
Fortunately, Beastmaster is one of the heroes that got killed, and he's the one who would take the buildings the fastest.
True.
So you'll still lose this tier 3 and maybe this mid barracks, but at least it won't be more. I think if Beastmaster was here, it might be the megas, because like your team could take the top tier 2 while you take mid and bottom and then connect top. So at least something going for BetBoom. That fight, they do find the Darkseer and take him out. Usually that would win you the fight, but this time there is the recall, so he buys back and he just joins the fight a little later in the end.
Nice job saving the fortification there for the catapult. And yeah, like you said, it's not the fastest lane push at all, especially with all the torrents and the tidal waves, the dead shots, like everything just being constantly thrown here. 4 seconds here on the Tusk, 15 for the Ursa.
They're not even getting the range.
That creep wave doesn't make it in time. Yeah, so they're only gonna get the tier 3. Now you will have one more attempt here with this Aegis. It's got a minute 40 left on it. He's gonna find himself an Arcane Rune as well.
Yeah, they're gonna push top again.
We'll see what they can do.
They never lost the Observer that they placed for the top triangle, so I think you just do it again, you know? Last time you lost your Darkseer a little bit too quickly, but it's BetBoom finding the right fight the 3rd time in, which means they're actually 10k behind. If they had found that, you know, like 10 minutes ago, then they sweep the rest of that fight. But this is where the gold difference matters, the fact that Illich is willing to buy back, get recalled in. So they're just right back in position to repeat it with the last minute of the Aegis. You've now lost all the outer towers.
I mean, the level 25 on Ember and your Beastmaster is really scary. 45 seconds on this Aegis. We'll see what they can do with this as they start pressuring the high ground. Dude, this Ember just going in off this Aegis. He knows, he's like, I want to use it. I've got a Refresher as well. The Chain's here trying to do what he can, but it's just space made as they try to bring down this tier 3. X, however, saved by the escape act. The banner here protecting this catapult as well. GPK's illusion from the wall, it's alive and it's doing some damage here. Actually forced to pop that Satanic. Now they go in on the Ursa. He's gonna get hexed up, feared into the Wheel of Wonder. On the other side of the fight, they do manage to find the Beastmaster, but the Roar, he's got it in a moment. Can they bail him out? It's gonna be dropped there onto Katomi. No snowball, you can't save yourself this time. He's dead. 65 seconds. Dark Mago, Aegis up in 5 seconds. Needs to get out of the base now. The X comes through. This is problematic. They're gonna burst them down. Great timing from BetBoom as they now are going on the offensive, looking for moves. El Micho trapped here with a nullifier as well. Dark Mago is gonna buy back into this fight. Same with the Coddle. You may have gotten him once, but Dark Mago, he had an expensive Aegis. He's gonna try and find these kills. Nullifier here onto K1. The Nature's Prophet doing a lot of work, but Dark Mago's doing more. Illich trying to chase for them as well. Force staffs him back into the hands of OG. 4 dead, double buyback from BetBoom. Miro in save, gonna try and do what they can. They pull back the Coddle, but it's not enough.
A lot of buybacks have been used here. We are at the potential end of game if you're not careful with how you take this fight. You have the Nature's buyback, but no Tusk, which has been a big part of this. Miro might have caught. You need to buy back.
Into the roar, the Wheel of Wonder. He's dead. That's a dieback for 110 seconds in your nature as well. Yeah, he's back in the game, but is it too little, too late? He has no BKB. Ursa's going onto the backside with a save. A wraparound attempt here, but do they have the damage? They're just kiting out Kiratich. They're going to lose your Muerta. And now Ember, he's not stopping. He's got the Coddle to keep him going, and now the bashes are there, but it's 5v2. The wall dropped on top. That's it, baby. GG's come out. OG, it's not as good as the Vengeful Spirit Shard, but it's, you know, it's interesting. We'll see what happens as we finally get to jump into game number 2 here for OG and BetBoom. I gotta get one of those voice changers. Uh-oh. We're back. We're still back. All right, we're back. Here we go. I'm very excited to see how this one's going to play out. The support CK, if you guys are just joining us, in for a treat. OG currently up 1-0 in this series after some very clutch team fighting in game 1. We'll see if BetBoom can pull things back together. Very innovative draft from them. As both teams will smoke up.
You've got a Chaos Knight and a Ringmaster. Ringmaster already likes finding early kills to get a souvenir. I feel like Chaos Knight, I know it's weird for everyone already getting upset about the Chaos Knights they're going to see in their pubs, but the early levels are strong. For example, Illich, 2-second stun.
This is going to be a lot of damage, but he is kind of close to the tower, and it is an Underlord. So they will not connect on the first blood. Illich will just make the slow walk back to the base. You do not want to have to blow all your regen here. So it will just be 2 for 2 on these bounty runes. But you will make the Underlord a little bit late to the lane. El Micho here needs to be careful. He is I'm going to take a few auto attacks here from the Chaos Knight, who does have pretty high base move speed. So this will
lucky.
Yeah, he's going to actually force the Wind Run. And that's what he wanted, right? He really wanted to get Wind Run instead of Power Shot level 1.
Dude.
So,
if Karomi has a bad game, he can literally just be like, "Ah, I mean, bad RNG. What can you do, guys? It wasn't me."
True. The Chaos wasn't on my side this time.
He got a max stun to start and then a minimum. So he's average right now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, nothing wrong with being average.
Maybe when you're going for a competitive win, maybe it matters.
Yeah, okay.
Top lane, Timber, even into the gyro, so you are threatened a little bit by that magic damage, and you pointed out the afterburner should help threaten some kills. But I don't think it'll be that easy, so if Miero's safe with his positioning, I think both people will get what they need out of this top lane.
Ringmaster
if
is
anything,
just pumping the damage right now.
Yeah, if anything, Moose is the one who also has to be careful with where he positions, because Timber Chain could easily bring Timbersaw over, and the Ringmaster's got the slow and Tame the Beast, which will be a little hard to land. I mean, Timber doesn't really help you hit this ability, though he did take the Shredder facet, so maybe some flows to help you land the Tame the Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Like, typically you see the Shredder facet just because it gives you a lot of extra damage and chase in the lane, at least for the side lane. Sometimes if you feel like you don't really have the ability to fight in the lane, you just go straight for the Twisted Chakram because it gives you a better power spike at 6. Man, dude, a Ringmaster's damage is so deceivingly high.
60 when you have a couple stats. He knew this was his role in the game, though. Like, his early items are all about getting a bit more right-click damage. Gyro is low range as a carry, and Ancient Apparition does have long range, but doesn't hit that hard, so he knows Timber's just going to body for him, and he has to right-click.
Yeah. Did we see, is this Abyssal Horde on the Underlord? I forgot to look.
No, he's got Demon's Reach.
He did go Demon's Reach. Let's go. Man,
I gotta
my
cleave
own
these
heart.
support.
Thank you, Illich.
Gotta support, cleave these support Chaos Knight illusions, you know?
Yep. Holding Refraction there, knowing that El Micho could try to line up a power shot, so good stuff there from the TA. That kill shot's a big deal. If you get stuck inside Pit of Malice, or if you get stunned, into an execute, pretty easy to land. There's not a lot of stuns on the side of OG to enable it, or really like slows. So it's gonna be kind of hard for El Micho to hit these power shots, but we'll see. Maybe he's just he's a gamer, he's gotten practice in on this hero. Who knows?
What I was hoping to see in the landing stage is that you can charge Reality Rift. Like, you can start it and do some of the animation and then just cancel it. It doesn't cost you anything. I was hoping Karomi would just spam it on the enemies, really blow out their ears and keep them on their toes. You never know when the Reality Rift is actually going to happen. Certainly worth doing for the mental damage compared to pulls or harassing or positioning.
And maybe you bait a Wind Run or something too. In the river, we're gonna see some fighting between GPK and Dark Mago, but Storm Spirit gets denied his rune. That's gonna hurt quite a bit. And they actually took the top rune as well with the Ringmaster, and they might be trying to make a play here. GPK, he's low, but with the Ringmaster on the wraparound, Dark Mago, this might be your friend. Oh, the high ground miss! Is it enough? That actually saves him. Oh my goodness. And now Save takes a lot of damage here from this Ancient Apparition moves. You gotta respect this OD who's just dumping damage, and that will be your... No, First Blood's bottom. Okay.
Just barely killing the Chaos Knight first.
I'm
Still overall good for mid. Like, you get a support kill, and the Storm had to walk back, right?
Yeah.
So you are gonna get the level advantage over the Storm. He's gonna have to be very careful. Chaos Knight dying down here. I mean, he was pretty low, right? He was constantly getting hit by auto attacks.
All right, this is what worries me. I was gonna say, I'm surprised that in mid lane, they didn't just try to put the damage into the OD, like as the Ancient Apparition. Like, he's putting all his damage into Save on the Ringmaster, but the actual damage dealer is gonna be the OD there. And as a result, GPK gets to stay in lane, Dark Mago has to back, and then the Ringmaster just walks back top because he doesn't die anyway, resulting in a kill against your carry Gyrocopter.
Yeah, who they're putting some pressure on right now. Maybe trying to go for a second kill. K1 TP'd back here. Kataomi rotated in. It's working.
He might be dead. And mid lane, Dark Mago gets soloed off by the level 6 of the OD. And now you have a 2.5 level disadvantage in mid. GPK is almost level 7. Your Storm Spirit is still level 4. Moose top lane getting dove here as Katomi on this CK is going to set up potentially another kill here for Mira El Micho. Great shackle into the execute for the power shot. Hold up. The turnaround. Does the high ground miss on the snowball? It does not. El Micho gets a double kill. I mean, that's great for the Wind Ranger, but you have some serious problems in mid.
I mean, for both cores, Gyro died, TP'd back, died again. Mid lane, Storm walked home, came back, died, right? So you're gonna start seeing a level or two difference in the mid and the carries, which is gonna be a bit scary for OG. Miro off to a great start. Though so many heroes have gone up to his lane, he doesn't actually have 6, and he might have overextended now. Maybe he's the one who TP's back and then just dies again.
I mean, to be honest, this OD is going to hit level 8 before Storm hits 6. He's dead again in the mid lane here. This is going to be the 3rd death back-to-back for Dark Mago. He might be level 9 on the OD before he hits level 6 at this rate.
That would be really bad. No, he will respawn and walk to a jungle camp. probably top of the map if I had to guess. Maybe that top safe lane jungle in between the lanes, but he's not going to show his face again until he's 6. You can't afford a 3rd death, which would be a 4th time going back to base, because the first one didn't die, but he did have to walk home, which is very similar. And you can't afford that. You already can't afford it 3 times, but like it can't get worse. It can't go to 4.
Yeah, I mean, this is just really active playmaking from the supports on BetBoom, and just that one miscalculation in the mid lane is costing them so dearly. And it has resulted in pretty much every core on the side of OG having a really bad lane stage now.
Is Chaos Knight paying off?
I mean, it's not paying off. Or, you know.
0-2-2. Bottom net worth
Trying to
for
make a
everything
play
going
here.
on.
Yeah. You just can't.
I'm here, guys. Let's
rotating
go.
in here.
I've got Reality Rift and Stun. I got
LB
good luck
shows
on
here
my
as well.
side.
Shackle, power shot. You do have a lot of damage coming from the afterburner with the Underlord coming in on the backside here. Tries to find the Pit of Malice, connects onto 2. Katomi is dead. And the OD ult almost deletes the gyrocopter, but he will barely survive an Illich. Well, he's going to take his portal back to the bottom lane. Do we get a power shot here is the question.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Save TP's home. He's going to be safe.
At this point, yeah. All right, some much needed space for Storm, who is officially going to be level 6.
Ice Blast.
With Ice
Hold
Blast?
on. It doesn't connect.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I think he might have lived anyways, but it would have been close.
Yeah, definitely would have been close. All right, we're kind of evening out here in the lane stage. It's 5-5, very little net worth advantage, but I am very scared for the levels. I think the OD being 8.5, your Storm Spirit I think just barely being past level 6. Maybe he's level 7 now. Okay, so he did get some nice XP gains in the mid lane, but
That's the
he
thing
is
about Storm.
1,000 gold behind.
Even if you lose your lane to Storm, you are pretty good at farming the jungle early, so you can catch back up. And that's why OD making a rotation, using the ultimate, but not actually getting any kills, right? Just a little bit of a time waste for the hero that could have been completely popping off.
Yeah, nice dive here in the top lane. Call down. Doesn't connect onto anybody, but here's the afterburner damage here from K1. This will be a very easy pick off onto Katomi. The question is, do they find anything else? El Misho with these power shots, they have been on the mark. Raindrops will keep Miro alive, but you need to be a little bit careful.
El Misho did find the Ripper's Lash. You usually see support Wind Rangers skip the ultimate, but if you get Ripper's Lash, you do take it just because of how much damage it is.
They have Ice Blast. They're going mid. They get the Tame the Beast off here as well. GPK, he's going to survive. The question is, can you chase Pit of Malice into the Firestorm? The damage, it's not enough. And that's what we said. When you have 2 saves for the Ice Blast, it makes it a little too difficult. And with this, well, a second Ice Blast with no kills.
All of this, Kiritich slowly farming away down here. Maybe not the smoothest start with the Chaos Knight support. We thought we'd see some early kills. Didn't quite happen, but TA's a hero. You leave her alone. Her farm speed's really fast, so she is just a little behind the OD, who's been having such a good game we've been talking about. And K1, you know, he's facing the pressure like this, right? He doesn't die every time. He even gets some return kills. So it's not like he's being dumpstered, but so much attention brought to the top lane means he doesn't get to farm as efficiently as he would like. Especially when you have, you know, AA Wind Ranger, you're praying like, oh yeah, you'll get double stacks in the triangle, stack my safe lane, you know, I'll just farm everything. No, they're involved in all these fights, so there's not really any stacks on the map right now.
Yeah, not at all. Wrap around to the top side though. They want to punish Miro. He's gonna get caught for the moment with the shackles. There's the Ripper's Lash into the focus fire. The missile is taking a while to get here, and Ice Blast has to connect if they want this kill. He Timber Chains up. It doesn't. Oh my goodness, and you lose Illich on the other side of the map instead. A failed smoke attempt here from OG is spelling disaster for them.
said, the creep wave is not there right now, so if they want to defend this tier 1, they maybe could. I suspect they're just going to use it to farm up. Oh, now she's going for a sneaky play. TPing.
They're going to try and go for Storm Spirit.
Storm.
Everything dropped right away. The Wheel of Wonder into the Fear. There's no saving this.
Yeah, great
They
timing
are,
from save.
Yeah, they are just all over the map right now.
That's a really good call and great use of the Force Staff, getting in range before the Storm can zip out. We didn't really talk about it, but Save he's such a good Ringmaster player. Any of these high skill execution heroes, Ringmaster being one of them, right? Landing all the impalement arts, the placement of Wheel of Wonder and the timing with Tame the Beast, he is so on point with it. And it's even easier when you have setups like Astral and Chaos Knights, Chaos Bolt. I don't expect to see Save miss pretty much any of those this game.
Yeah, I am curious, like, if they will be able to kind of slow down this OD with the rate he is going. It is being very scary. Miro farming up towards his Kaya, clearing out some ancient stacks. I mean, this gold advantage, it's only, quote unquote, only 3,000, almost 4,000 actually here at 13 minutes, but it's the fact that you're so low on the Storm Spirit compared to everybody else, and this is a hero that needs to be making plays. It worries me. Bottom lane, they're going for a dive here. El Misho trying to finish off Katomi. Doesn't even get a chance. Kiritich just pops him, and now Illich. Like, I've seen this one before. He is food for the OD. There's just going to be 2 more deaths on the side of OG. I mean, have we seen a single Ice Blast play on OG work? You just threw Ice Blast into the triangle. You don't have it for this dive.
I want to say one has worked, but I can't remember what that was. And the bigger issue is that they're not all working, which is part of the reason you picked this hero, right? The idea was, hey, Shackle Shot into Ice Blast, Ice Vortex, Ice Blast, and Power Shot. Storm Spirit zips in, Vortex, Ice Vortex, all the Vortexes, you know? And just land it repeatedly all the time. Underlord shows up, and you want all of these quick pickoffs, but instead you're the ones being picked off. You're the ones making the play and not quite getting what you want and missing the mark a little bit. Now, I said this last game as well, and then OG made a pretty good recovery. So we'll see if they can do it again here in game number 2, but this is looking strong for BetBoom. Maybe thinking about this Tormentor, but they want to know where a few more OG heroes are before committing to it, because it is scary into the Ice Blast and the Power Shot.
He sees the ward, but is afraid to grab it because he wants to try and see if they, yeah, like you said, punish someone at the Tormentor. This is a really heads-up play from BetBoom because getting Ice Blasted and Power Shot from far as you go for the Tormentor, it could very easily swing back to OG. I mean, did they see the smoke? Maybe they saw the smoke in the triangle. I'm not sure. All right, they're going to bring the heroes now.
They might have, but it also is just something you're very aware of for how popular Ancient Apparition is. You know that
They
missed
did
the Melt Strike a little bit. I don't think it'll matter. Oh, maybe it will matter.
That
it matters very much.
It hits. Power Shot is there. It goes to Katomi, but they're going to get the cancel on the TP. The Atos is here, and then they will finish off the Templar Assassin. On the backside, Storm, he takes out Save. Okay, some signs of life here from OG thanks to this ward. Is it enough? You still get the Tormentor on BetBoom?
It's very much needed. Even though the gold lead doesn't look that different because of how much money went over to the Ringmaster from the Tormentor. Again, this is not the greatest spotlight game. So
yeah,
that net worth is not as valuable as maybe in another game, though. What's the alternative to the Chaos Knight? You know, maybe Spotlight is better. I don't know. But the fact that you get killed and start to recover some of this, the Storm, right? Finally picking up some Galvanized stacks. Your supports, the Ice Blast finally connecting on some very key targets. Yeah. The Melt Strike missing maybe would have saved at least one hero. You know, you do it a little faster, save a little health, get out a little faster. Could have made a difference. I think it looks like OG made it in time anyways to finish the kill, especially with the ward and sentry placed from El Micho. I forgot who did it, but very smart to not kill the enemy observer, and that's what gave BetBoom the fake confidence to think like, oh, they don't see us, we can do this.
Well, that ward barely catching sight of the Wind Ranger, the Reality Rift stun into Meld Strike, instantly dead. And now one thing we didn't really talk about too much, the Templar Assassin rushed Desolator this game, so she dies in that bottom area. Maybe if she has a Force Staff, she doesn't, right? But either way, you've got some Deso charges online. Dark Mago dying in the mid lane once again to the Atos setup. Or I'm sorry, the Astral setup.
Their Astral Wheel of Wonder combo. And soon it will be an Atos that save is working towards, which would be very nice. Versus the Storm if you catch him before the zip, or the Wind Ranger trying to win run out of there.
Oh yeah, you have OD, you can Roche. There's okay,
well,
they might know about this. There's no Ice Blast. What is the cooldown on this thing? They scouted out for now. Power shot? Oh. They do get the last hit. Okay. I mean, Kiritich thinking of just going in aggressively on the high ground here.
Looking for
they know he's here.
His Roche kill.
He's alone though. Do they have any idea? It's gonna be El Micho that scouts him, but no. Okay. If they had seen Kiritich, they'd probably just burn the Aegis immediately. That was an incredibly greedy pathing that he took there.
Looking tough.
From
Seeing
K1,
if someone's gonna walk to...
Oh, Atos. Kiritich holding the Meld Strike for now. We'll drop it. Silenced up. Second Meld Strike gets that shackle off, but he's not surviving this one. Early shard on the Templar Assassin. One of the things that we'd love to see on this hero.
Yeah, it allows for very active early play. Gets herself 2 more Deso charges. Slowly pumping that damage up. Where is the OD on BKB? 3,000 gold, so almost there. And once he has that, he's going to be very scary. He's going to have all the comfort in the world to move aggressively in these fights. And I think you can wait for that, right? You got 3 minutes, 40 seconds of this Aegis. So probably the last 2 minutes can be used with this BKB lining it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what
some of these tier 2s.
Yeah. I mean, OD is going to be such a strong hero, and there's no one that's like itemizing to deal with him right now. Illich is on his way to his Aghanim Scepter to give him just a little bit more control in the fights. The double Pit of Malice will definitely be annoying at helping keep heroes at bay. But the OD, if he's given the ability to just auto attack and then drop the Sanity's Eclipse, like he will just kill heroes. So we'll see what they can do on the side of OG to start dealing with that.
I think OG should just keep delaying. Not only is it the Aegis that you're not that interested in fighting into, but BKB for Storm, you know, still a bit far out. I say like 3,000 gold, it looks like. They're going to have a blink on the Wind Ranger in a moment, so maybe you can find some smaller plays. But then the BKB on K1, looks like they're going for an Ags on the Underlord. Their timings are a little bit later, so just drag things out. If you lose a tower, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just get your items online to be ready to fight for either high ground or for the next Roche, next Tormentor later on.
You gotta be careful here on this bottom lane Storm Spirit. They're definitely wanting to push the tier 2, but also try and take away that 21-minute Wisdom Shrine. I think they realize this. They back away. Wind Ranger gonna try and do a loop around here to their own Wisdom Shrine, but Katomi will not let that slide.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, with the tower here as well. I mean, he's gonna
Bottom tower is under attack.
try and go for this. It's not gonna work.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
Shackle into running away. Yeah, blinks to safety. So you just know there's no way. So this means double Wisdom Shrine plus the tier 2 tower here for the side of BetBoom. And they will smoke up immediately. Oh, did they get the tier 2? Not yet.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Smoking for a fight, though. Going through an Observer Ward. They might make their way to the smoke.
Dire's bottom tower has
Gyrocopter.
I think they're assuming they're bottom, like behind the TA, and Gyro just pops his Manta. They didn't see his courier somehow. The smoke is gonna pop. That is one of the most fortunate paths he could have taken.
Wait,
going for the TP save. He's gonna get it. Atos is out. Wheel of Wonder into the fear, the taunt. K1 is gonna die anyway.
That was the last. It's gonna be like half a second left on that teleport out. Double silence.
Ooh, did he swap his bottle out, or is that what happened there? Because like he zipped over and just didn't pick up the rune. I think he might have had his bottle in his backpack or something and was like trying to bottle swap to pick it up.
He at least doesn't die. But
yeah.
A bit unfortunate. Does have to go home again. Got a minute on this Aegis. A little less than that. Looks like they're just gonna go for this tier 2 mid. Probably call it after that. Unless you find a free kill.
I do like free kills. This one will be the Underlord. Getting a little bit too... And here's the thing, like, you just have an Atos and you have Astrals. Like, it's so easy for you to jump on a hero. And they actually see Storm Spirit bottom on a ward right now. They know he's going for this creep wave. There is a trap there to silence him, but OD already prepared to try and find him on the bottom here, and he will. Dark Mago in some trouble. You do need more heroes, though. Astral. And I think I've seen this before. Fear into the stun, and another death for Dark Mago.
It's a great kill. It's one of the last times you're going to be able to do this because BKB will finish in the next minute or two for Storm. I mean, if you can force it out, that's still good, but at least you won't be killing him. So a great find to delay that BKB just a little bit longer. If you could actually find him again, maybe you could push it off all the way till the second Roche, and that would actually be massive for BetBoom.
Yeah, that would be huge. I mean, they've built a 6,000 gold advantage. The majority of this is just the supports. BKB forced from GPK right away. El Micho doesn't have... Okay. Well, you don't have BKB on your Gyro either. He just gets deleted by the Sanity's Eclipse, and that is a very easy double kill for GPK and Moose. Well, he's going to walk right into the Templar Assassin. You are bleeding kills all over the map. We said last game OG made their way back into the game off some very stylish team fighting, but we've just not seen them connect on anything here.
Get a quick
His BKB
here.
is actually on Courier right now for the Gyrocopter.
Unfortunate. Whereas we talked about the BKB on OD being available, so things like that Shackle would have saved the Gyro's life. But, I mean, that's the power of the BKB. And off of finding those kills so close to the enemy base, even without the Aegis, you're going to get to work with the Deso, Refraction. You don't quite take the tower, but it's about halfway done now. It's going to make it much easier to siege later on. All right, so that is the Gyro BKB available. That combo won't work next time. Save has absolutely maximized this window where he can get these Astral Wheel of Wonder combos. He is 2, 2, and 12, so absolutely fantastic, but it will become harder for him now.
Now they are smoked up here on OG. They've got to start finding some kills and objectives, right? There's a tier 1 mid standing. They're going to try and zerg this one down real fast.
Storm's got his BKB, so they're looking for this double BKB fight here.
Nice aggressive ward placed as well. That being said, BetBoom know exactly what's going on. They scout the BKB on the Storm as he walked over a trap in the river. So they know OG are definitely grouped up here in the triangle, trying to make a play. And because of it, well, they're just going to go for Tormentor again.
It's a rough game, but someone's got to get a gem on OG. The amount of times they've been revealed by traps on the ground, it's really hurting their ability to find these Ice Blast plays, quick pickoffs. It's just scary because they've been having a rough time, so it's tough to commit to the gem, and you know, if you lose it, you're just done. I think they have.
Getting this tower would be huge, but you just don't have the damage quite yet to do so. Miro going in aggressively here to try and zone them out. There's gonna be the Vortex, Ice Blast. It's gonna again be dodged, but they do manage to get on top of the OD. He didn't get the BKB off. He will respond with it now. Dark Mago goes in, stuck inside the Pit of Malice. Somebody's gotta die. Who's it gonna be first? It's the Underlord. They get out on everybody from BetBoom. Katomi will be left behind to die. Who do you have here? Blink and Shackle trying to find an opening. They don't get it, and now it's just gonna be Moose who joins the Underlord in the grave. It was so close, but you're too slow on these Ice Blast plays. They have to be faster if you want to try and find these kills.
In a way, I think he was expecting the Astral, but then once... sure, you waited out the Astral, but then, oh, that was our Vortex, you know? Like, now it's really hard to land the Ice Blast. So, yeah, that Astral save does buy them time. They actually catch the OD before he BKBs, which is great. But then you see the issue with being 11k behind. You don't have the damage to kill him before he does get to activate the BKB and then just reposition. So in the end, pretty good for BetBoom. Roche was not up though, so at least OG will get to fight one more time for it. Maybe they can get a better jump on the Ice Blast this time, which actually, rare miss from Save. Storm did not have BKB towards the end of that fight, and the Tame the Beast actually hit just before Astral ended. Otherwise, they might have finished the Storm kill as well. They have so much burst damage on the TA and the OD.
We're gonna smoke up, look for another play, like you said. Roshan's not up yet, so they can get a kill here on BetBoom. That's pretty much all but guarantees their Roche attempt. And OG, well, they're smoked up themselves here on the top side, playing towards their vision.
Find the Gyro.
Oh my gosh, finding Gyro or this Ancient Apparition would be massive.
They see him.
Moose might be in position here to block the smoke. He is the guest behind him. Gyro needs to get the BKB off, but he just gets stunned instead. Looking elsewhere, 2 dead on OG. Make it a third as Illich. No chance of getting out of this one. I mean, he had time to respond. He was not looking in front of him for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those unlucky things. Very understandable why he'd be looking around the map, doing other things, but the Chaos Bolt into the Reality Rift just connects so quickly that maybe even like, you know, a 1/4 of a second delay is enough to chain stun. And we've been talking about the burst, right? Like one stun, the job was done.
Yeah, you can't lose the initiation on OG. If you lose the initiation, you lose the fight. And to be honest, like BetBoom, they just have... I cannot believe
wow.
They just walked right by each other. I say OG have a little bit of a harder time finding the right initiations.
Yeah, last time we talked about their ease of execution, right? Just scout with the Ember, the Illuminate, and then just like roar when you want to. It's much harder this time, especially for the Storm.
They're gonna turn around here, topside. Katomi, he's so tanky as this Chaos Knight. They do have a second Pit of Malice, but all right, they will give this one up. They find themselves a kill. Goes to Hector actually as a side gunner grabs it.
Much needed. The game's getting pretty rough for them, and the Gyro actually. So he's queued up the Satanic and Deso, and then, or sorry, Daedalus, and then after that, he's got a Divine Rapier queued up. So I think they're starting to feel the pressure and that they've got to bounce back.
Yeah, they're gonna go bottom here. Look for the Ringmaster. The Ice Blast does hit, of course, ignores the damage. Dark Mago's forced to BKB. As in comes the rest of BetBoom. Moose trying to TP out. He's, oh, it's so close. A nice kill goes the way of Miro, and BetBoom now find themselves looking for more. I mean, the Scythe on OD is so scary.
Yeah, one for one is not a bad trade, but Storm no longer having BKB means it's too scary to come into these fights when there's a Hex. Gyro!
I mean, he's gonna, yeah, okay, BKBs.
Okay.
That's the problem, right? I guess you did get OD's BKB as well, but
BKB and ult, so I mean, that's something. But as these BKBs get lower, I think that's a bigger issue for OG than it is for BetBoom. For now, they're going to finish the top tower on BetBoom, which means if they win a fight in front of the base, this is the TA wrecking your buildings. All of it is now open. Gotta be very careful with these fights.
There's another scythe being made here on the Timbersaw. Storm Spirit is in... Okay, yeah, it's like he's in a kind of an awkward spot. He's going to get scouted off the TA traps. He's going to try and just farm up some camps on the bottom side of the map. But I have to imagine the Chaos Knight as well as save. And there's the TP from the OD. I feel like we've seen this one before. They know he's here. There's the Hex into the Chaos Knight stun. He force-staffed him forward? Is that what I saw? He did. He force-staffed the Storm towards the Chaos Knight so that he would get in time for the stun. What a sick play from GPK.
That's actually so
Was that
cool.
like the,
I love that.
Is that like the 9th death on Storm Spirit? Now, how many times has he died this game? It's like 5 or 6? 6 deaths. Wow. That hurts.
Come on.
Nah, I'm joking. Come on. BKB is out. They get the banner for this. Shackle actually keeping K1 alive as Kiritich would have been doing a lot of work here. Miro in kind of deep as well. Closed off by the Pit of Malice, but yeah, GPK blinks in. 3 shots El Misho with the Scythe. Kiritich now looking for more as this Underlord, he's just a pinata for these heroes. And he gets popped. Shackle here once again connecting onto the Templar Assassin. She has a BKB. They're going to be able to bop the Aegis. The question is, can you kill her twice? Pit of Malice comes through, holding them down, but the Scythe grabs the Gyro. He's going to have to buy back into this game. The Wheel of Wonder taunting up Illich. He's diebacked now on the Underlord. 3 dead on OG, with everyone sitting healthy on the side of BetBoom. And, well, Hector, he's dead as well. I think we're seeing the GGs get dropped here fairly soon. This game has all but fallen apart for OG. BetBoom just outplaying them from the start.
The Chaos Knight support working? Maybe? I feel like a lot more of this was off the combo of OD and Ringmaster. Yeah. I think they had so many great finds. Astrals into the Wheel of Wonder. They got so many kills, making a lot of space for Kiritich, who had a little bit of a slower start, but got his space, farmed up, kept the pressure onto the Gyro and the Storm. And a lot of this, I feel, goes back to those early game plays. If we can think back about 20, 25 minutes ago, the back-to-back, okay, you don't kill Storm, but he has to go home, and then you kill him when he comes back. Gyro gets killed, TP's back, gets killed again, and then you do it again. You pressure them more. It built those early level differences, which really prevented that timing of the We're 6, zip in, Vortex, Ice Blast, get a quick kill on anybody. That doesn't come online at 10 minutes, right? That comes online way later, and it's way too scary to go in at that point into the OD, who is 2,000-3,000 ahead of you. So now you're down 30K, losing.
This is a Hail Mary play. They just bought out the Storm Ags. They're like, maybe we can bait something here with the Storm Spirit Aghanim's at their Illich, just putting his body on the front line, but they're not even grouping. They know, they can just kill everybody one by one. They don't really need to group up. Dark Mago goes in, doesn't find anyone on the zip. Ice Blast still being held as a result. And with no Underlord, Pit of Malice, who do you go on?
You need to go on every single hero.
He gets the BKB off. And now it's 1v1 here. K1 versus the TA with the Ice Blast into no man's land. I don't know where we're going with that one, but that is it. GG, BetBoom.